So the Obi-Wan Kenobi series comes to an end with its 6th episode. And it's probably the best one of the batch. But it doesn't matter. It's too late. And the damage is done. And there's some damage done here as well. It was shot much better. Looking at it now overall, it appears that episode 4 and 6 are the best shot ones, utilizing the set and the framing and all this other stuff. It's still, they're using that projector technology stuff, but it just looked better. It's a pursuit in space. You get Star Destroyer chasing the ship they're escaping in. The duel between Vader and Obi-Wan is much better here, as Obi-Wan got his mojo back and all that sort of stuff. And it was shot well, and all that. So it all works together and everything. It's just whatever was good about it, again, was too late. So you get, all right, they're escaping on the ship, and it's almost like a classic scene of Star Wars, the Star Destroyer chasing Obi-Wan's ships, kind of like the old days of the Millennium Falcon and all that. And then Obi-Wan realizes, well, I'm the one Vader wants, I need to leave so you guys can escape, and Leia's crying, she doesn't want him to do it. And I've got to do it, Leia. And turns out they got a backup ship on board. And which I just figured, it's like a shuttle or something. So that's what he does to lead Vader off, and everybody else gets away with Captain O'Shea and all that. so Obi-Wan flies to this nearby planet, and Vader pursues him there. I don't recall them saying this, but I guess the Star Destroyer went on its way to pursue the rebels. I suppose, because, spoiler, Obi-Wan wins the duel and gets away, and there's no Star Destroyer there to take him out. And then he senses Luke Skywalker's in trouble, so he heads back to Tatooine, so he's got a hyperdrive. Now, the problem with the escaping ship was his hyperdrive was on the fritz, and they needed time to fix it. Well, couldn't they have just used the parts from the smaller ship? Maybe it doesn't work that way, but... So anyway... so he goes to the planet, and they have their big fight. And at first, it's pretty much it's going Vader's way. He ends up burying Obi-Wan under tons of boulders and stuff like that. And it's all spectacular use of the Force and everything, just how powerful Vader is. And some cool scenes where he damn near causes an earthquake and opens a crater in the earth and everything. And but you know what's going to happen. Obi-Wan's going to call upon the Force, and all the rocks, fly off of him. And he ends up throwing them all back at Vader, and he's tossing Vader around with the Force. And he forces the advantage. And Vader's caught off guard by this and ultimately loses the fight. At one point, finally, Obi-Wan cuts half of his helmet off, and then there's Anakin's face in there, and it kind of, causes him to pause for a bit. And they have this dialogue between them where Darth Vader tells Obi-Wan, "You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did." So, of course, this sets up the thinking in Obi-Wan that says, "Well, Luke, when I told you that Darth Vader had murdered Anakin Skywalker, what I told you was true from a certain point of view." So, which is the point of view of Darth Vader as well. So there you go. But, that in and of itself is not too bad. It's just the overall presentation of this series was terrible, and, just ignorance of canon and whatnot, which you didn't need to just ignore it to make it work. You could have done that. They just didn't have the skill and were too lazy, and were ignorant of it. I mean, apparently, the head writer didn't watch Revenge of the Sith, I guess. I don't know. And so all of that, but you get into the heat of the fight, but they're like, oh wait, we got to cut back to Tatooine. Well, why? Oh, because Reva's there. And Reva. Well, what do they give Reva? Well, you know, she found the Obi-Wan's cell phone, and there was a message on there from Bail Organa, and which is the dumb. Well, it's even worse than the, you know, like I said, the episode 4 was pretty good, but it had the silly Three Stooges moment of hiding Leia in the coat, where it appears Obi-Wan has 4 legs. But this is worse because it's just so stupid. I mean, couldn't they have used some coded language or something? But anyway, so there she's over there. So she's pursuing Luke Skywalker, and she eventually gets there. Owen and Beru have to defend Luke on their own. They tell him they're about to get an attack from Sand People. They tell him to hide, but of course they know it's the Sith lady, and so they do at least the shots and the pacing to where you can argue Luke Skywalker never saw any lightsabers and never saw any evidence of the Force and stuff like that. But it's damn close. But, you know, they did that. So she goes in there. She chases. Of course, Owen and Beru are no match for Reva, even though she's badly wounded and limping along and everything. But she still makes short work of them and chases after Luke, who escapes to run into the desert. And she finds him and causes him to fall with the Force, and it knocks him unconscious. And she's about to kill him, and she can't because she's thinking of herself when she was his age, and Anakin was killing all her friends and all that sort of stuff. So, okay, so that's the scene that was rumored. It's all true. She almost kills him and decides she can't do it. She's just not evil enough, you know. But why is she doing it at all? There's nothing there to tell you she knows who this kid is. She doesn't know anything. All she knows is there's something amiss here. There's something about this child that Bail Organa's talking to Obi-Wan about. And he's like, I wonder what this is. She just figures it out that, oh, that has to be Padme's kid. I mean, it's a bit of a stretch. There had to have been something that led her to believe this, or to think that there's something to this, or what have you. And she was just going to kill this kid for revenge against Darth Vader, because this is his kid. You know, it's all very stupid. So it's just, the Reva character is just squandered here. You could have made a character like that work and it would have been fine, but they didn't. And that's why they had the preemptive attack of calling everybody racist if you didn't like the show, because you would notice there's flaws here and stuff. And they exploited this woman and used her like that. Got her to go out there and fed her lines, I'm sure, to lie about this, that this is the first time there's diversity in Star Wars, you know, and all of that stuff. And it's just shameful. But that's Disney today. You know, that's Lucasfilm today. And it's the kind of dumb crap they do. And every time they do it, it was the first big red flag that, there's something wrong with this series. And now I've seen it, and yeah, it's a crappy series. It's not well written, and amazingly enough, it's terribly shot in most of the episodes, which astounds me. I mean, even Strange New Worlds looks like perfection compared to this show, which is amazing, you know, because that's a really crappy show. But just the aesthetics of it is better than this, you know. But finally, they kind of got it right here. Almost, not quite. It's almost Star Wars. Even the music was a little better. They finally play the Imperial March theme at the end for a moment. But even the rest of the music, it's not classic Star Wars music, but it's making a better attempt. And I have to conclude that this is a different crew working on this one. I don't know. But so there you are. The only thing that wasn't true, at least in this version of it, is that she doesn't go back to Darth Vader and claim to have killed Obi-Wan, and Darth Vader kills her. That didn't happen. Maybe there was another version of this, and they reshot it. I don't know. But she's alive. So that leaves it open. There was talks of a Reva series, but why? I guess her journey back to the Jedi or something. I don't know. So that's that. They do a scene where Obi-Wan goes to Alderaan to give Leia back her little droid, and to tell her, I made it back okay, Leia, everything's fine. And he meets with Bail Organa. No, he does not tell him, look, dummy, don't reveal everything in a phone call. But the problem is he openly meets with them. They got their own guard standing there, but it's just, that's stupid. They should not have met in broad daylight out in the open. It puts everything at risk. So, just to have the goodbye scene. So that's what they did. Wow, whatever. So he goes back to Tatooine. He packs up his stuff, and I guess that's, he's moving on his way to eventually get to the, the house he had in New Hope and all that. So he meets up with Owen, and it's all rather friendly, because he showed up at the last minute to help them, but turns out Reva decided not to kill Luke, and he returns them to Owen and Beru. And so Owen, Obi-Wan says, I'm going to keep my distance, and, right now Luke, the one Luke needs is you, and all this sort of thing. And then Owen says, well, you want to meet him? Oh, all right. So he goes over there, and he tells Luke, well, hello there. So, oh, yeah. So, okay. That's how it should have started. And so a terrible adventure happens. Luke is put in great danger and is oblivious to it, doesn't really know what's happened. But Owen knows. The show should have been about Obi-Wan and Owen, really. Yeah, you can throw in Beru. They're the main supporting characters for Obi-Wan. And it nearly all goes to hell. But in the end, Obi-Wan wins, or whatever it was and how it worked out. But afterwards, Owen's of the mindset, stay away. And he's rather pissed at Obi-Wan over it all. And it's a strained relationship that is broken after that. Because when you get to New Hope, neither one sounds like they like each other, because Luke says, I need to get back to this. That's your uncle talking, and he's like, so you could use that. You could have made this narrative, but Owen's not used really at all here, and it's terrible. Plus, turns out Beru is the one who knew what to do. Yeah, there's some scenes like that. So finally, you get the surprise cameo appearances. Well, you get Qui-Gon Jinn. He shows up briefly, and tells Obi-Wan he's, got work for him or whatever, and they ride off into the twin sunsets or whatever. And then back at Darth Vader's castle, which again, it's shot much better, and I mean the throne room and everything, because it just looked cheap and small and pathetic when we first saw it in this series. Here, it's big, it's grand, and it's all, it's very Darth Vader. But he receives a Skype call from from Palpatine, and it's, and I don't know if they really sealed the deal, but it's Palpatine questioning whether Darth is really fully on board with the Sith cause, and that I wonder if you still have feelings for your old master, and all this type of stuff. So that's what you're supposed to cling to as to why Darth Vader kept letting Obi-Wan get away. It doesn't work. It really doesn't. So, and that's it. Now, so, I don't know why, really, Darth Vader will later tell Obi-Wan, I was but a learner, now I am the master. And, the line they threw in the previous episode with the flashback of, until you learn to control your aggression and your obsession with winning, Anakin, you'll always be a Padawan. So that's their line that fixes all that, Really? Besides, they both agreed he's not Anakin Skywalker anymore. So, this was just a colossal wasted opportunity, and would have been better if they'd just never done it. And they're in no position to be this lazy and sloppy. Boba Fett was one thing, which was bad. Obi-Wan Kenobi, you can't do that to Obi-Wan, and you did it. So, yeah. I mean, the quality of it is that if that's going to continue, then I don't know. I just, because there's really no hope anymore. I mean, the idea that the Ahsoka series was going to retcon everything and all of that, highly dubious on that. And it's done. I'm sorry. It just is. And it had that one moment of a possible comeback at the end of Mandalorian Season 2. Showed you how to do it, really. And no, they had to sabotage that too. So that's too bad. So anyway, basically the Kenobi series had every now and then you'd get a cool scene and kind of tease you with what could have been, which just makes it worse. And that's it. The rest of it is just lazy crap that just keeps opening plot holes everywhere. So that's too bad. Anyway, that's it for Obi-Wan Kenobi.